Okay, this is the physics periodic 3.1 to 3.7 recording. this one's very easy صراحة يعني كتير سهلين. Which of the following are fundamental types of force? Gravity, electroweak, and strong. Memorize this one. Uh, a force is defined as a push or pull. It's an interaction between two objects. Again, easy يعني nothing to explain. Okay, a boy closes a door. The symbol is boy on door. Girl pulls a rope. Girl on rope. Man lifts a box. Man on box. Women sit on sofa. Women on sofa. Uh, just to make sure. Yeah, okay. A force is just a push or a pull. It's a result of an interaction between two objects. Uh, a push or pull is a force. The push or pull is the result of an interaction between two objects. These are the same questions repeated here. The force exerted by air to slow down an object falling through it is called drag. You know, the air resistance is drag. The attraction of Earth on an airplane obviously is the weight. Whenever the Earth is pulling anything that's weight by a swing cord on a swing seat. A cord يعني a rope. Any rope يعني tension. The force exerted by a rough surface on a box sliding. Whenever it's sliding and it's the surface preventing the sliding, it's friction obviously. يعني these are easy. Tension is by ropes. Friction is preventing from sliding across each other. Up thrust is whenever, okay, I think you guys know what up thrust is, but it's whenever you have, like, say this is water, let me put it in blue. Whenever you have water, okay, and then you have an object in it, let's say you put in like a ball. You put in a ball, you put it down. If you leave it for like a second, it's gonna come flying back up. Obviously not flying back up, as you get like it's gonna come up with a force. That force is called upthrust for any object immersed in a fluid. Okay, normal force is it acts perpendicular. If you guys remember this week's physics AMS that we did, the normal force was always perpendicular to the surface or to the object. Uh, the cart is moving along a rough horizontal surface. It's gonna stop. Why does it stop? Because of friction, obviously. Where does this force act? The friction acts between the cart and the surface. يعني like there's nothing to understand here. It's كله memorizing. Assuming that the friction, okay, a skier is descending down a slope. Assuming that the friction between the skier and the ground is negligible, what is the friction force acting on the skier? Obviously, if he's going down a mountain, yeah, the mountain, the wind is going to be pushing this guy back. يعني air resistance or drag. If they put drag, that would also be correct. Uh, okay, هلا الforces. Okay, the magnitude of the net force F acting on the body is something Newton. Okay, whenever you have a force up, force right, you have to find the force in the middle by using Pythagoras theorem. Radical a squared plus b squared. Okay, this is a squared is vertical force, b squared is the horizontal force. Here we need to find the vertical force. If it's 19 up and 3 down, so the net force will be 16 up, 16 newtons up, and obviously 12, there's nothing else to the left, so it's going to be 12. So our net force will be radical 16 squared plus 12 squared, which is radical 400, which is 20. Okay, the angle between the net force F, okay, the angle equals inverse tan of y over x. I know when I say y over x, whenever I say y over x, I mean the vertical force over the horizontal force. So vertical, horizontal. Okay, the vertical force in this case, we said it's 16. The horizontal is 12. So you do inverse tan of 16 over 12, and you get whatever this is, 53. Select the diagrams that correctly show the vector addition of F1 and F2. This obviously this one's correct, and this one's gonna be F1, F2. I honestly don't get this one. So wait, let me look at it a bit. Yeah, this one's also correct because F1, F2. If you were to draw F2 here, it's the same thing. Obviously, it's gonna go through the middle. Okay. Uh, let me see. Yeah, this one's wrong because, يعني, how do I explain it? If I were to put, yeah, it would be wrong. yeah, this is wrong. It's supposed to be coming out like this, in between F1 and F2. طب you're gonna tell me, why is it not coming out in between here? It is. If you drew F2 down, it is. You see? طب you're gonna tell me, will you draw F2 up? You're gonna tell me, will you draw F2 up here? Now it's gonna be in between. No, it's not in between because this arrow is going upwards. If you know what I mean. This is not in between. That's why it's just these two. It's correct. 12. The magnitude, okay. Each square represents 5 newtons. F1, F2, and F3 act on point A. Okay, you have to find the magnitude of net force. Okay, F1 is 2 squares, so 2 times 5. F1. F2 is 1, 2, 3, 3 squares, so 3 times 5. And F3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares, so 6 times 5. Okay, F2 is to the right, F3 is to the right, F2 is to the left. So 10 to the left, 15 to the right, 30 to the right. So you're going to have 45 to the right, 10 to the left. So minus them, you get 35 to the right. That's it. Okay, two perpendicular forces. What's the magnitude of the resultant force? For the resultant force, obviously going to be the one in the middle, so you have to do Pythagoras. So it will be radical 7.5 squared plus 10 squared. You get 12.5. Okay, and then what's the angle? Same as the last one. To find the angle between the resultant and the horizontal, it's always inverse tan of vertical over horizontal. Okay, so inverse tan of 7.5 over 10. And you should get 37 degrees. And then, okay, the horizontal, okay, look. I'm gonna explain the normal way, but in the final, a question came, everybody got it wrong, I remember. Okay, look, when you have force, this is from the previous recording, when you have a force, okay, force diagram here, okay, let's say I took 15, okay, and they give you horn 45, they tell you what's the horizontal component, or you could say fx, and what's the y component or the vertical component, you say fy. Fx would be equal to the force F1 times cosine of your angle, and then Fy would be F1 times sine of the angle. Okay, طب look here. So in this case it would be 15 cosine 45 and 15 sine 45. Okay, طب let's say this is, everybody knows this. They know that x is cosine, the horizontal is always the cosine, and the vertical is always the sine. بس in the final أعطوك نفس السؤال بس they put the angle over here 36 مثلا. Okay, in this case to find fx, what everybody did in the final, they did 15 cosine 36, and they did for fy 15 sine 36. This is wrong. Okay, why? Because if you look at the angle isn't given with the horizontal anymore. The angle now it's up. It's up. I remember the exact diagram that came in the final. It was like this. Hold up 1 second. It was, the force was to the left. I remember. It was like this. Okay, like this, and the angle was 50 something, 50 whatever, 53 I think. You had to do I don't remember the force though. So for fx you had to do whatever the force was times sine 53, and for fy you had to do whatever the force was times cosine 53. So you see how I flipped them? I flipped them. Why? Because now the angle was given up. Okay, it wasn't given now, it's not given down. But هلا look, like مثلا here the angle is given down, so you do our normal rule. So for horizontal, for the fx, we do cosine عادي. هلا it's 12 cosine 35, which is 9.8. with the vertical عادي كمان we do fy is 12 sine 35. فهلا عادي you get 6.9. بس لما بيعطوك الانجل هون مثلا، لما بيعطوك اياه 35 up, that's when you have to switch them. هون 15. Wait, it's not loading. Okay, yeah. Okay, how many questions is 17? Okay. The magnitude of force F. Okay, magnitude of force F. It's gonna be 8 squared plus radical. You have to do Pythagoras. So it's gonna be radical 8 squared plus 15 squared. and you get 17, I think. Yeah, 17. Yeah, and then for the value a, the angle we always said inverse tan of the vertical over the horizontal, which gets you 62 تقريبا 61.9, which is 62. Question 16. I think this one's the long one. No, this one's easy. Okay, the horizontal component for fx, it's always 10 force times cosine of the angle when the angle is given down, yeah? And you get which is 10 cosine 50, which is 6.4. And then for fy, it's going to be 10 sine 50, which is 7.7. Sorry for the handwriting, yeah? Consider, wait, it was vertical horizontal or horizontal vertical? Yeah, horizontal. Okay, never mind. This one, is this one the long one? Yeah, this one's not nice. Okay, look, whenever you have two forces and then they tell you find the resultant force, you have to find the x for each one and the y for each one, and then add them up, and then after you do that, you have to find the resultant force by doing Pythagoras. Okay, so whenever you want to add two forces, you have to find the total fx, okay, and the total fy. T stands for total. Okay, fx total stands for f1x plus f2x, and the fy total is f1y plus f2y. Okay, to find f1x, f1x equals the force f1 times cosine 30. Okay, and then f2x is 10 cosine 45, because angle is 45. Okay, and then so the total fx total will be, I'm just gonna put this in the calculator, 10 cosine 30, 10 cosine 30 degrees, 8 point, okay, whatever, plus 10 cosine 45 degrees. Okay, is gonna be 15.7. Is that the correct answer? Yeah, it is. Okay, so fx total is 15.7. Okay, then fy total is gonna be f1y plus f2y. f1y equals the force times f1. f1 the force times sine of the angle, f2y كمان نفس الشيء the force times sine of the angle. So fy total will be equal to this plus this. But wait, before I continue, this is going to be f2 is going to be negative 10, yeah? Because the force is down. It's under the x-axis. Obviously, the y is negative because you guys know when you go down, y becomes negative, yeah? In this case, f2y will be negative because it's going under. Okay, fy total will be 10 sine 30 minus 10 sine 45. So let's get our calculator. 10 sine 30 minus 10 sine 45 degrees. Okay, you get my ليش radians degrees. لا حول ولا قوة. Minus 2.07, which is correct. Yeah, minus 2.07. Minus 2.07. Okay, for our horizontal component, our x component 15.7, like we said here, and our vertical component, our y component, is minus 2.07. The magnitude of the net force, how do you find the net force? Radical a squared plus b squared. Okay, so radical 15.7 squared plus minus 2.07 squared. And you should get 15.8. Okay, yeah, that's it for 3.1 to 3.7 quiz. Thank you for watching. Thank you.